Thank you to our Conversation Liquidity patron for this episode, Matcha. Matcha aggregates 130 plus DEXs to get you amazing prices on over 5 million tokens. Swap for free, swap without gas, or swap across chains, all in one place. Matcha.xyz. Search, trade, done. GM Farcaster. It is Friday. Happy Friday. June 7th, and you are here with Adrienne, Nounish Prof, and David T. Fung. And we're so excited to have you here, David, as our special guest co-host today. How are you this happy Friday in Onchain Summer?
Happy Friday. Good day wherever you're in the world. Just thankful to be here and really proud of you both for just diving in to this full time, because when you go all in with the depths of your heart, magical things start to happen. So excited for you guys' journey.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks, I appreciate that, David. You're such a positive energy. I love it. You're always amazing, positive energy in our world. And we're just so glad to have you here. What we're going to do is we're going to chat a little bit about some of the news of the day, just some of the key highlights. And then we're going to chat with David about his amazing journey to Washington, D.C. And everything that happened with that. But first, let's dive into some of these fun things. So we've had a few things going on this week. This from V Experiment, replies in the home feed. We're surfacing more replies to encourage conversations. Interesting replies to a cast will show up in your home feed. 50% of users will start seeing this soon. If you have feedback, please reply to this message or DM. Interesting choice of example. I'll just say that I made it into the example. How lovely. As I was asking a question to Linda, by the way, I asked her, are most of the bounties that she's seeing, she saw an update, second highest volume day. I asked her if most of them were related to Onchain Summer, and she said, actually, no. So I thought that was very interesting. A little bit more on replies in the feed, which this is from V again. Which replies show up in feeds? If there is a reply from the author in the thread, it will always show up. If there are replies from other users, it may show up if it has engagement and is from somebody you follow. This will run as an experiment with 50% of users seeing replies and 50% of users not seeing them. If the metrics and feedback from users is positive over this week, we'll roll it out. And by the way, this led to a little bit of a new meta, a little bit of something funny. And let me see if I can now find it.
I don't know which one. There's been so many random funny things. By the way, shout out, love reply bumps.
Yes, we love the reply. So this was, Dan had replied, no, LOL, and this has now become the new meta here. Do you have an articulated 5-year plan to build investor confidence in your roadmap? No, LOL. So everyone is now using Dan's replies for their own fun and purposes. From July, do shortcuts ever work? No, LOL. This from Borodach, will Farcaster launch a token in 2024? No, LOL.
No, the original no LOL came from someone, I think, complaining about the what is it, power, like the channel moderation power mode, something.
It was all, yes, priority mode.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. There's the OG.
Yeah, just remove priority mode. It's not difficult to mute spammers. It went on, and his answer back was no, LOL. So. But this is now, because of the way the replies are now showing, these are now showing up a little bit easier to find for you. And then, yes, we had, is Dan paying attention to castout? No, LOL. And Dwoofy, new meme format? No, LOL. But actually, yes, LOL. Because Dan has now provided other options for your enjoyment, including LOL, wow, LOL, maybe, and LOL, yes. So there you go. Enjoy the new meme format. I think it's a new meme format. So what do you think about servicing replies? So there was that's something that's common on other social platforms. where you will see the replies show up, and it's why the reply guys, this is their thing. So what do you think about this shift in the algo here? And either jump in.
I mean, I'm all for it. Love it. We used to have it. And, when there were fewer people in the network, you had to have it, I think, because otherwise you would just go to the end and you would be at the
you
end.
Literally get to the end. You get to the end of the internet.
Get to the end. So I really liked it. And then when they took it away and added QuoteCast, then it just became a fractured conversation. So I'm a big fan of bringing it back. How about you, David?
I dig anything that sparks joy or just some humor in the midst of the feed. There's a lot going on, but any antidote that brings that, I'm for.
And David is just always like full of just positivity and good vibes. So I love that. A few more things from the team. Here is from Dan. New settings for channel owners. Turn off the recent feed. Toggle the main feed algo between moderation has to be on to use. So there's a lot of things and experiments going on with moderation of channels right now. It's a work in progress because when they shifted the recent toggle switch so that you can moderate differently, changed it up a little bit, it's caused a lot of confusion and spamminess and just challenges of trying to manage channels. Adrienne, for your channels that you are hosting, moderating, how are you finding sort of the change and what do you want to see?
Well, big news. I gave for Farcaster, Ivy took over as the main host.
Okay.
So we're using AutoMod and there's still co-hosts and I think it's going well. And as always, experiment, but seems like quality has gone back up. And then I am hosting a few other channels, but they're small. So I haven't really needed to play around with heavy moderation.
Yeah, I've done 2 channels. I've turned moderation on, and Castout is one of them, and Builder's the other one. I haven't even done anything with GM Farcaster yet. So it's been interesting to see how it's handling things because I did things a little differently in each one. And some things definitely I have to go in and tweak for Castout because it's not working the way I anticipated it, and then had a conversation with JTGI to make some shifts. So I have to go in and make those changes. I think it's, it's not intuitive. So it does take Farcaster requires proof of work. Here we are.
I mean, when was the last time you did anything in this space that was intuitive?
That was intuitive and easy. So it is definitely a little bit of work.
I think Dan just has to say, listen, I know obviously work is being done and things are getting easier. Yeah. But the joke that we're on par with Web 2 is just kind of funny because I've onboarded some people recently and watched them onboard, and there's still a lot that we take for granted. Because we understand just the concept of a blockchain or the concept of composability or so we've got a long way to go, people.
Yeah, definitely have a long way to go, I think. And a couple more things related to this, and then we're going to jump to chatting with David about his recent trip. The Warpcast home, this is from DWR again. The Warpcast home feed uses machine learning, AI, but not an LLM, in order to order casts in your feed. The model selects from a universe of 1, casts from people you follow, including recasts. 2, casts liked by multiple people you follow. And 3, soon, casts from channels you follow, but people you don't. So, and then a little bit more, this was adding on to V's cast. Warpcast now uses an ML model to order casts. If you have many unread casts, the model decides which ones go to the very top of your feed. Its main purpose is to learn your preferences and show you the most interesting stuff first. I'll go into more details in the thread below, and he did continue on from there. So if you want to learn more here, check out this cast. It will be in our show notes. There's a lot of information in here that kind of digs into the way in which the model works. So a lot of work being done to improve the feed. And then also around direct cast conversations. So direct DC conversations now jump to the first unread message. When you open them, this should make it much easier to check back in on large groups, HT to GT, for the ship. So there's a lot of cool things happening around DCs as well. And I noticed recently they added the @ notification. Super helpful if you have a lot of group chats. Like to have that little, okay,
Someone
wait,
tags you.
If somebody tags you in the group chat, you will see a little @ notification rather than just the usual 99 new messages.
Yes.
Maybe that's just my
because
group.
Before I just assumed I was ignoring people. Now I know I am.
Yes, now you can be clear about which group chats you are actually ignoring. Or you could go in and actually look at those ones. So
yeah, PSA, if I owe you a response, please ping the chat.
Sometimes I open up my Supercast and I just go, no, I can't right now. I'll be back later. Like I can't do it. Anything you want to add, David, to like how is your feed looking? Anything that you've seen lately that you like, don't like, want to see changed? Anything like that?
I personally these days try to spend more time IRL trying to convert that URL to IRL faster. But sometimes nice. My mind can't comprehend all these notifications and they fly away. But people know how to reach me. They can find me on Telegram. It's just my username. If they want to talk to me, just call me.
Just call you. Just call you up. Just call David. Let's talk about your IRL because you've had a lot of really interesting IRL stuff happening lately. This is from your recent trip to Washington, D.C., and I want to hear about how this all came down. This was in Capitol Hill. This is in the Rotunda with your noggles on. Noggles IRL in the Capitol Hill Rotunda. And then we also have, this photo with, that is not the one I was looking for. Where's the one with your, oh no, I got to pull the other one up. Yeah, this is it. Sorry. I'm proud that this is from you as well. I'm proud that my representative, Jimmy Gomez of California, Congressional District 34, has voted yes for the FIT 21 bill. We have to continue to build one step at a time by supporting innovation on our soil and continue to bring clarity to crypto. Keep going. And this was you meeting up with your rep from the House of Representatives on Capitol Hill. Brought them a Friday press, brought them some espresso. I love this. So fun. And also check out those noggles hanging out in that pocket. Love it.
The purple
noggles.
No
purple noggles. These are the Builder DAO purple noggles from Farcon. So let's talk about how did this all come about that you ended up on the day that the FIT 21 was passed, which was also Bitcoin Pizza Day. You ended up being in Washington, D.C. So tell us all about how that came about.
Yeah. Appreciate you both for this time and ability to speak about this. I think it's really important that we, first and foremost, build bridges. No matter what side of the aisle or differences there are, we need to build bridges and be that conduit to share what we're doing in this space. My approach is bringing digestible information. And for me in my life, it's always been the arts and music, being that vehicle. And I'll have to rewind back a week. It started at Fridays at the park in Nashville, Tennessee. On the week before everything happened, a bunch of us traveled Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out East Iris Studios. We were there making music for 2 days. Then it happens to be on Friday, we're told randomly congressional members are going through because they're there for Music Business Week. They're trying to understand the music industry. A couple weeks ahead, there's Grammy on the Hill advocating for music, copyright, getting artists paid. So we happen to be making music live while these congressional members were walking through. For most of them, it was their first time in the studio. But to get to the point, it happens to be that one of the congressional members was my representative that represents the district that I live in, Representative Gomez and his team. We got to connect, talk about Highland Park, where I live in Los Angeles, and other things too about arts and music. then you're like, come out to DC, talk about this. And it happens to be my friend played a Tiny Desk set too for NPR. So it was
cool.
fun in the week, and just talking more about what we're doing. I think creating digestible things for someone to read is really important. That doesn't look like a coin, but present it in a fun, digestible way to understand is a vehicle that could really help our space.
And in terms of like, what kind of questions was he asking you, and like, what was the conversation really centering around? How were you like conveying what you do in terms of blockchain?
I kept it the POV in a very small lane. I talked about music artists and the experience that the Fridays at the Park has been going on. This long journey of minting things, helping onboard an artist, giving an artist another option to get capital directly, because creators deserve to get paid, and going on that journey as well, and really talking about personal experiences. I don't know about everything DeFi, crypto assets, etc., but making it personal and talking about music and arts, sharing some of the songs too, made it really relatable to the representative. So he got that, at least.
That's so cool. Music is so universal, and I think art is so universal. So I think it is, it probably is so much more approachable to kind of come at it from the artist perspective.
Yeah,
totally.
Definitely.
And keeping the heart at, sorry, one more line, just keeping the heart at meeting people where they're at as much as you can. And I think that's why what Derek and Drew is working on with Now and Coffee is exciting. All these other music initiatives we're working at the park, and what you're both doing, making it digestible, fun, and can't wait for more people to join us on this journey.
I wanted to point out,
having fun.
We're having fun. Everybody's having fun so far. I love that you mint all your sessions, and this is something that's really special about Fridays in the Park. So you can go check out, and it's also, sometimes it's the video, the music video, but sometimes it's just the, the photos from behind the scenes, or a combo of that. And I just love that we get to sort of be there with you, even if we're not there with you. And I think that's really fun. And this was from the Nashville session that you were just talking about, and there's also some from the from FarCon and other sessions that you've done, and I think that's amazing. How was your FarCon experience, by the way?
Very intimate. The goal was just to find as many URL people that I've talked to and meet them IRL. I think that's the core premise to everything that I do, and there's a lot of magic and serendipity. I don't think the Capitol Hill moment would have not happened if we're not present in Nashville and just very open to the IRL magic. So much respect to the FarCon team and what they put together. It's quite magical. These moments are necessary. Internet fun building is hard work. Much respect to the builders, but being able to meet, share, celebrate, and hear each other live is beautiful.
I love that. Adrienne, any other? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Was it so? Was the visit to Capitol Hill more of it? Like, was it? Did you only get invited that week before after meeting your congressman?
Yeah, and then connecting with other things as well. We have a friend working on a green record sustainable company. Got to talk to the Energy and Commerce Committee as well, and make other key relationships.
Have you been involved in, have you visited DC before? Had you been involved in any local or national or state politics before?
Good question.
Yeah, appreciate that question. Yes, on a local neighborhood level, city level, and state level, specifically for architecture. I used to work full-time in architecture, advocating for green design, sustainable designs, and different community projects. Found out my representative is actually building an arts and music center right in my backyard. So
great.
Hope to get on working that project, but this is first time on DC. Different ball game, really fun, but different ball game.
Yeah, definitely. I just thought it was so cool when I heard you were going, because when I've not been invited to Capitol Hill yet, but there's a little bit. I think for the people who kind of tend to be terminally online, we think of the digital space and people aren't always investing in kind of the IRL politics and governance. And there's obviously the big kind of the big crypto lobbies that I know are doing work. And to see someone, David, a friend on Farcaster, who I know well as like just a person just kind of showing up and doing the work, get invited and you're there. It felt very, I don't know what's the word, just monumental, special, like this to capture this point in time. I was very proud of you for going and advocating. I thought it was really special.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And
I agree with that. And I love that you that you have done some things with, Stand with Crypto's doing some amazing work as well. But I really love that you shared this, not only that you went, but that you actually shared this with everybody too. It's great.
And I just want to say, and David, I don't think you can say this, but there are people in the chat, both on, maybe it's the YouTube Live and the Unlonely, but you have so many fans. And I think when you bring 100% positive energy consistently all the time, so we've got a lot of I love Davids, OMG Davids, David, can't wait. So I'm sure you know this, but thank you for visiting and spending time.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, I bring that energy, but I'm still human. It takes a tribe and a lot of great friends out there to really walk on this journey. I'd rather win.
Still human, very well said.
Yeah.
And I know,
I know you have to. Yeah, I know you have to head off. You've got another call, and but we really appreciate you swinging by and chatting with us.
I appreciate you both, and I highly encourage everyone. Just for me, it's a personal responsibility to build bridges in these relationships. IRL takes more time, takes human capital, which you can't replace. But I think the heart of what the people I met in this community, Farcaster, so far are the people that I would love to continue to bring those stories to DC, because the lobbyists need our help too. We're in the trenches, seeing this every day. We need our stories, and
we need to humanize it. We need to humanize it for them, because otherwise they only see what the media shares with them, and usually that's the bad stuff, right? That's the only thing that filters up, unfortunately.
That's right. Yeah. And the bill passed the House, so it's on its way, and and who knows what your impact was. So maybe every one person. So thanks for
doing that.
For advocating.
We appreciate it.
Totally. Yeah, and one hack, if you're all just visiting DC randomly, the House of Representatives doors are pretty easy to walk through. Each office is like it's a little company. You can just knock on the door and walk in. Senate side's harder, but as long as you pass the metal detector, you can roam the halls and talk to any of your representatives. It's that easy. A plane ticket and walking in.
Yep, absolutely. I actually was an intern for a senator back in the day, and it was much easier then, but still pretty accessible. You can make an appointment with your rep and your senator pretty easily. They do like to hear from their constituents. So, and you also can call and, impact that way. Calls and emails, they do count them. They do take that into account when they're going to vote. So it's not a waste of time. So yeah, however you want to approach it, there's a way to make an impact.
I appreciate you both.
Okay. Thank you, David. Have an amazing Friday and a happy weekend. And we'll see you on the timeline.
Happy Friday and keep going.
Thanks. Thanks, David. We appreciate you. Love that. Love that everything he's doing. I love the park. They're amazing. Mm-hmm. Also, so have to mention them as well. We got a few more things to chat about. Oops. Hello. Come on. So you turned your bounty into a bounty. So that's what this is.
That's right.
So Adrienne won a bounty and then turned it into a bounty. So I want to put my bounty right back into the ecosystem. Let's try something. 25 USD for posting GM Farcaster clip and your commentary on either Dracula or Warpcast. 10 available. Have we had anybody claim yet?
Yes, I haven't paid out. So sorry, everyone, but I plan to look at submissions over the weekend and pay out. I'm good for it because
she's definitely good for it. Let's make sure we share them next week. I'd love to share all those. And
it's funny.
Thanks for people who did that. Go ahead.
There are bounty farmers out there.
Definitely.
And I first said, the bounty, when I first described it, was just like what I said, like do a video or for GM Farcaster. But people didn't know we had a show called GM Farcaster. So they're just making videos. And then the video, one person.
So that's on us.
I clarified. I was like, our show. And then one person took a clip from our Linda episode.
Yeah.
But I said you had to add commentary on it. Like, you don't just share a clip, right? Yes, skill issue.
Skill issue.
So then someone took a clip of our show with Linda. But the commentary was all about Dracula because I'm like, is this an LLM take? Like,
yeah, probably.
I was like, okay, but did you even what? How is this commentary?
Okay, so we'll be showing the good ones and maybe some bloopers.
He corrected it. I think they corrected it. I still don't know if it's a bot doing this work, and I don't know whether I'm supposed to pay this out. I mean, I want to be good for my money, but I guess I'll go through it all. But there's still bounties to claim. So
okay, that's so funny. A few other things. I do want to mention this. I haven't watched this yet. I don't know if you had a chance to, but this was actually, if I can go back to this one. This was from Jesse the other day or yesterday. Join us for a special on-chain stories with Jesse Pollock and Brian Armstrong as they talk about how builders are changing the world during Onchain Summer. I didn't have a chance to watch this, but I need to go back and watch that. And I think that's exciting. Jesse's had a great week. He was on Bloomberg. He's been featured in Fortune the past couple of weeks. I think he's ramping up before he takes a little vacation. So he's getting married, going to be on his honeymoon, and is like taking a little break. And so I think he's just been like going 120 this week to cram everything in before he's gone.
Totally.
We still have to get our build-a-thon applications in too. I think there's more time. I think I got it confused with the OP retro round. I have to give a shout out to
which we can't apply to.
I want to give a shout out to the Polymarket intern for shouting out Donut Day. It is official National Donut Day, and he, she, they, Polymarket intern.
Is your brother's neighbor showing up today?
Not today. So for those of you who may not remember, my brother, I was there visiting for Christmas. Somebody walked in with a box of amazing Krispy Kremes that were all like Christmas Krispy Kreme donuts, and they were incredible. And then like later on, I learned it was actually the CEO of Krispy Kreme who showed up. And for a while, that was my most liked cast, like for a long while. It was really funny. So I'll have to find it and resurrect it today. That's actually a great idea. So that was so shout out though Donut Day and Polymarket intern taking advantage of that as well. One last thing I wanted to.
Can the Polymarket intern come on our show? So
yeah, we'd love the Polymarket intern to come on our show.
So we can grill him and find out if he's really an intern.
Him, her, they, multiple. If the Polymarket intern is listening, we'd love to have you on. And if you like, you can even come on with a voice changer and as like the anonymous interview. We'll be happy to do it that way because I am curious. But we'd love to chat. One last thing before we wrap. This was from Dan a couple days ago. Feels like things on FC are a bit more snippy lately. RIP Christian rap era. Do you think that's true? I was dying to get your thoughts on this.
I actually don't know. There was like a day.
there was like a day. There were some people that were getting a little cranky. I don't think so, but I also think that post conferences, I tend to be cranky as well. When I just do, I get like this little depression that happens after I see everybody IRL, and I know I'm not going to see them for a really long time, and I get a little sad. So that was my experience. So maybe that was part of the snippiness. Post FarCon, post consensus, I don't know. But there was been a little bit of, all right.
I mean, my theory is, and I know global platform, blah, 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 but US election year, and the world is still very tribal, and you have a lot of forces that are driving the kind of trying to drive divisiveness and wedging, and I think it will spill over into Farcaster. So we have some antibodies, and I think we just have to keep creating the platform we want to see in the world, something like that.
Something like that. Something, something. something, create the something Gandhi. Something Gandhi.
Gigamesh,
Gandhi, something. Great points. And speaking of tribal, this is our last thing for today. We did our castout edition yesterday. We did have another person voted off the island for castout. If you're not playing along, you can go check out Bracket Game. You should be playing along. It's fun. Bracket Game is going strong. And also, if you have our hyper sub, please go claim your packs, because you have some freebies waiting for you, and you might want to find out if it's people who are being voted out before it's too late. So you can sell them. So this has been really fun. I have been the game master. You've been playing, so we haven't really talked about this much. So how has your first week of cast out been?
It's been really fun. I cannot believe, like, I've never played Survivor. I mean, I've never watched, obviously played. I've never watched Survivor. It's hysterical. It's really weird being behind the scenes, not behind the scenes. I'm not behind the scenes. I have no inside information. I'm saying it's weird that you're in control and I don't know that I'm not behind the scenes.
You have no idea what's going on. Yeah.
I can't believe how much time and energy I have spent, and how much I've learned about myself, and how weirdly competitive I am.
Yeah, you are quite competitive. And I think it's been interesting to watch people's different approaches. Like you, I know, started a group chat with the people who are backing you in Bracket Game, which I think is really fun. And I have a feeling, based on some things, that they're advising you, and they seem to be advising you well. So there's that.
They are advising me. I have other secret advisors as well,
I'm sure.
So,
by the way, it's hilarious when people are, I've seen this multiple times in various chats of Prof doesn't know we have this super secret group chat. I know exactly what you have, because people keep telling me things like in the background. I'm getting all these little DCs. So I know all the things.
Right. So like I have a Holdler chat of people who have kind of, but I know half of them have other, like, it's not like I'm the only one they've bet on. So I don't know. And guess who's apparently too lazy to find out?
There's a mole in Mole, apparently, according to WoW. That Mole has a mole. Don't know. Just keep that in mind. Interesting. So there's been, it's been interesting. So Monday, I'm going to announce the next challenge. It's going to be really, really fun. It's a combination team individual challenge, and also everybody else will be able to play along. So I think it's going to be a really fun one. I'm super excited about it, but it's also going to mean that half the players are going to be voted out right after. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah. So the social game is afoot. It's going to be interesting. See how those secret group chats work out.
I don't want to vote anyone out. It's been like, it's been very bonding I love my Mole team.
It went fast. You guys, like, it's been 1 week and only 2 challenges, and you guys bonded pretty fast. And I think the other team did too. The other team got a slower start, but the memes challenge really brought them together. So it's been fun to see this play out and think about different use cases for it. Of like, could I run like a private cast out for team building purposes? Like totally, things like that could be really fun. DAO wars, all these kinds of things we could do with it. So
Jace was awesome on the recap show.
So good. It's been so funny to have him just
not
pop
expect
up.
him to be that harsh.
Just like random super fan. And the super fans are always harsh. Super fans are always harsh.
Jace and Mish are both in my group chat.
Oh, interesting.
And, yes.
Interesting.
So I don't know why they should have known. He should have known it was a Pugson because I told them.
You forgot. That was really funny. So I've loved all this and it's been really fun. And I hope everyone else is having fun with it. There are 2 hidden immunity idols. Both of them are out there. Both of them have been found. I will not say who has them. But if you are still looking, keep looking because maybe you'll figure out who has it. So that's that. And then this weekend, I'm going to launch actually later on today, launching something for the players, a little incentive to do sort of those survivor confessionals that you always see the players do. They'll be sitting somewhere on a beach talking about all the things happening in the background. So we're going to create a little incentive for that, and that'll go live later, probably in about an hour or so. So
one of my college friends, who I told you was a producer for reality TV shows, but that's what she used to do, which is she used to do the confessionals, not for Survivor, for other shows, but she would be behind the camera asking the questions and
I love it.
Getting information out.
I love it. That's amazing. We should get her on to do the confessionals with you. That's hilarious. And I always think back, like the show that started it all. The first one to have that style was The Real World, the very first Real World in New York, the OG Real World. So for the Gen Xers, we did that.
It wasn't San Francisco. Was it New York, not San Francisco? San Francisco
York.
Was the second one.
Yeah, San Francisco was the second one. It started in New York. Right. And they literally had like a closet, I think, that they would go in and sit in because they were living in this apartment, and it wasn't anything super fancy.
Yeah.
So the very first one. Yeah. Crazy to think back. All right. So that is it for us. Anything else, Adrienne, before we wrap for today? It's been fun. Thank you, David, for popping on. We appreciate you.
Thank you, David. Happy Friday. Happy Onchain Summer.
Happy Onchain Summer, everybody. And we'll be back. We will see you on when will we see you? On Monday.
I think
8:30 a.m. Yeah, we're back on Monday, 8:30 a.m. And then we'll have 5 shows next week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and Tuesday and Thursday, our cast out edition on at noon, and we will be inviting all of our casted out players to come on Thursday, so we may see them show up. And with that, we bid you a bye-bye
or a boob bye, as
boob bye
Kristen